Absolutely titanic news in the world of animation today as Rick and Morty cuts ties with co-creator and star Justin Roiland after domestic abuse charges. So this story is huge. I can't say it was entirely unexpected. I didn't know how Adult Swim and Cartoon Network and Rick and Morty were going to move forward, if it was just going to end with the last season or what its plans were. But according to this coming to us from comicbook.com, Rick and Morty will be moving on without Justin Roiland, as Adult Swim announced they are cutting ties with the series co-creator following his domestic abuse charges. So, what does this mean for the show going forward? It does say that the rest of the team is going to continue to work, so the rest of the voice cast obviously is intact. The animators, what's left of the writing staff. Even though I thought that Justin Roiland was kind of the main creative force behind Rick and Morty. So yeah, it's going to be different. I mean, they're going to have to get a couple, unless they're going to overhaul the show and to be something else, they're going to have to find some voice actors to take over the two lead characters. And that's going to be difficult. And then are they going to be able to keep up the script quality without Roiland there to kind of half direct it? You know, the direct the scripts and the flow of the story and the overall arc of the show. So this is really big news, and you know, it just kind of goes to show what happens when, unfortunately, you know, the people that you really like, the artists that are out there, they tend to be kind of tortured individuals. They all have their own demons and everything else. They let them out in certain ways, and unfortunately, when it came to Justin Roiland, it's looking more and more like the way that he dealt with, you know, those demons was, you know, unfortunately impacted other people, and that's just not something you can do. And it's, you know, it's incredible. This guy had so much success, not just with this, but with other shows and video games and other writing projects, and even working, you know, a little bit with the MCU, kind of helping them with some of their work. And yeah, just those personal demons, they dragged him down. And I have to think that the folks at Adult Swim probably know more about the case and the details and the situations than, you know, we the public know. Because obviously, you know, I was hoping maybe there was a chance that, you know, I don't know, this was something that maybe had blown out of commission. Maybe somebody was coming after him because, you know, it was only a year or two ago that he got that giant contract, you know, from Cartoon Network, worth millions. Maybe there's a chance that this was somebody just coming after a rich celebrity, but, you know, I think deep down we all knew there was probably a lot more to the allegations being true than we wanted to admit. And, you know, now here's the fallout. The fallout is he's been removed from arguably the biggest animated show on the planet. So it's really hard. You know, I'm kind of recording this right as I've just learned about it, and so I'm trying to get my thoughts in place as I go forward. And there's a lot we can take from this situation. One, it's just, again, that you have to know that people that are really truly artists and really truly creatives, they have these darker sides to them. And in this case, when it comes to Justin Roiland, he let his out in a way that, as I said, affected other people. I mean, obviously he was, if what the allegations say are true, he's just a total dirtbag and deserves all the fallout that's coming to him. I find it kind of sad that, you know, he was able to let this, he wasn't able to control himself to the point, or at least know himself well enough that he needed to maybe be alone, stay away from others, not get in these kinds of relationships where he can lash out and do this kind of damage to somebody. Just kind of a lack of self-awareness, or maybe because he had the fame and he had the resources and the money, he kind of figured that he was entitled, he was able to do this stuff and would be okay in the long run. He'd get away with it, or, you know, it would be made to go away somehow, and that wasn't the case. Whatever the facts are, the case is completely sealed. There's nothing being leaked. The victim's name is not being put out. The specifics of Exactly what he's being accused of has not been let out to the public as at the time of this recording. We just know the generic charges, which are abuse with corporal injury and attempted kidnapping. And the attempted kidnapping part, it's not like, well, I can't say, we don't know, but it doesn't mean he like forced somebody into a room and locked the door. That charge can come with other ways of forcing somebody to remain kind of in your captivity or within your presence, so to speak. It could be, blackmail. It could be financial manipulation. There's lots of things. So, and we may never know because the charges are staying sealed. The names of the people involved are being withheld, and it may stay that way. And then we just someday hear a verdict and go forward from there. Again, if Adult Swim has chosen to cut ties with them, I have to say that would have probably looked at this situation every which way from Sunday and determined whether or not they thought it was a realistic possibility that he'd be able to beat these charges, and probably came up with the answer of no. That's kind of my guess, but this is really sad news. This really is. I'm a fan of Rick and Morty. A lot of people are. It's going to be hard to imagine the show going forward without him, but if he really did do the things he was accused of doing, then this is the least of what he would deserve. And it's as hard as it is to say that, it's true. I mean, it's kind of one of those never meet your heroes kind of situations where, fortunately, somebody who, whose work you really admire, and he just turns out to be he may turn out to be a kind of a piece of crap. So, that's to say things lightly, but we don't swear here on this channel on YouTube because they don't like it. But what do you guys think? Are you surprised that this happened? I have to say, like I said, I thought this would happen, but I didn't know, honestly, how Adult Swim would go forward. I would have to think that at this point, Rick and Morty pretty much is Adult Swim. What else do they have that's at all lucrative right now? But let's talk about it in the comments below. Are you going to stick with the show? Did this sour, the news of Justin Roiland, did it sour you on the show? You're not going to give it another chance, or maybe if you were in that mindset with the fact that it's going to move forward without him, with new cast, new writer, new voice actors, everything else going forward, with that kind of bring you back to where you can separate the art from the artist as far as the original seasons that he was a part of, and keep with the show going forward, knowing that they've cut ties with him completely? Let's talk about in the comments below. While you're down there, do all the usual stuff. Hit like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. I would love to have you here. And sad news. You can't always just have fun. We have to talk about everything that happens that has a big impact on the world of pop culture that we love. So we're just gonna leave it there, and we'll talk to you on the next video. See you then. Bye.